How's it going, everyone? It's Will with Atlanta Excellence again, and in this video I'm going over tips and tricks for the airport, especially the Atlanta airport. If you're not from Atlanta, you can still watch this video, but I operate in Atlanta, so I'm going to talk about the airport I know about. One thing I will say that shouldn't even be a tip, it should be common sense, is to always make sure you are following your local and regional regulations, rules, all that stuff. And you can always see what Uber's regulations are for your city too by going on their website. So that's kind of important because here in Atlanta we've had a ton of crazy things happen. Long story short, we finally became legal and official the beginning of this year, and 2017. It's 2018. Good lord. And we got our tags and our stickers and all that stuff so we can actually pick up without any problems. Now, I want to touch on that too. So, for the Uber requirements here in Atlanta to drop people off at the airport and just be an Uber X driver at all, you have to have a 2003 or newer car. For picking people up from the airport, you must have a car that was made within the last 7 years. So it is 2018 now. You have to have a 2011 or newer car. So if you have a 2011 now, you might want to think about purchasing or renting another car so you can pick up from the airport as well. Some other regulations are, and Uber and Lyft send you all this stuff, but if you haven't gotten it, just email them, call them, make sure you get this because you can get in trouble. I've never gotten in trouble, but you kind of need it. Are the little hanging tags. They're green this year. They were red last year. They just hang on your rearview mirror. And you also want to have like a visible decal. Again, Uber and Lyft send you that stuff, but just put it on the front, the back, one of your windows. So if anybody asks, you can just be like, "Yep, I'm picking people up." So let's focus on where to find people who are going to the airport. So this is easier than it really sounds. Let me see if I can pull up a map for you guys. I live in Roswell, which is a fantastic area. It's just work pretty much all day. My shift that I usually start is the morning shift, anywhere from 5 in the morning, and latest I'll start at like 6:30. People always get airport rides during that time. Same thing, even if you're like way OTP, like over in Ackworth. Early in the morning, that's a very common time, especially Mondays. Mondays are probably the busiest airport rides besides holidays, in my experience. So waking up early, you're pretty much going to increase your chances tenfold to get a long airport ride. And some other things you can do are basically just paying attention to like big events. So there are always big events at the Georgia World Congress Center. There are always big events at the Battery, the Coca-Cola Roxy if you're over there in the Marietta area, or if you're over in Duluth, the Infinite Energy Center. So you can call those places and ask, say, hey, what's going on? Because people will travel if there's like, if Beyonce is coming to, Tennessee, I'm gonna go, and a lot of people are probably gonna go and book a hotel to see her if you've never seen her before, if you're a diehard fan, or whatever you guys listen to. So that kind of strings into the next one. So you also want to find big hotels or hotels a lot of people come and stay at, either for consulting work, corporate work, vacation, leisure events, things like that. So really just call around and ask, but pay attention to the big event places, the hotels that are probably going to house the people who are going to those big events. And also, so Roswell and Alpharetta are like kind of corporate central, big suburban areas, Johns Creek as well, Milton as well. A lot of those people are, employees of major corporations who do go to the airport a lot for business trips. So knowing where those big suburban areas are is also a great place to go ahead and start heading towards before you even log on. I personally, however, I just like to start in my apartment, just turn it on. Once I get a ping, then I go. I never really drive to my first ride. So those are some things you can do to help you find a pickup. So once you get to the person who you're taking to the airport, and again, you never really know. Sometimes it'll say, it'll be a 45-minute plus ride, but if you're doing this during rush hour, that could literally be anywhere. But you'll know as soon as you pick them up, and you can click confirm, and you can usually tell when they bring luggage to your car. So you always want to get out, help them with their luggage, no matter, male, female, old, young, it doesn't matter. Just always get out, helps you with your rating. Put it in the trunk. Once they get in your car, you say, hey, how's it going? Good morning, good evening. And then always ask, who are they flying with? So you know which terminal to go to and where they are going. So let's talk about the terminals real quick. They're pretty easy, but what I've found is almost everyone, when they request an airport ride, is they always just put the international terminal as a default. I'm not sure why. I think Uber just has that pop up first, even though you can say North Terminal, South Terminal, International. The reason why this is so important is because, if you pick somebody up and they say, oh yeah, I'm flying with Southwest, I'm just going to Texas, you don't want to take them to the International, because the International is all the way on the other side, and you're going to waste their time, you're going to waste your time, you're going to get lost. So just looking at the map real quick, so yeah, this is the international side right here. And like if you're going from north to south, obviously going to go on the I-85 or 75 south, but your domestic terminals are over here. That is a huge detour. So that's why you should ask, that way you don't waste anybody's time. Now, if they are flying with Delta, that is the south terminal, the red terminal, or obviously international. It's really easy to figure out if they're going international. Canada is international. But yeah, anywhere that's not in the 50 United States is international. So, obviously, if they say international, you want to take them to the international side. But if they say, yeah, I'm flying with Delta, I'm going to Texas, then they're probably going to go to the South Terminal. Not to get too confusing, sometimes, I've never done this, but sometimes people will ask or they will request to be dropped off at, the International Terminal, because apparently it's easier to check in. And sometimes their gates are closer to the international side. But that's just going to be for if they're riding with Delta. So for them, the checkout process or check-in process is easier. Do what your passenger says. Just go ahead and do that. But if they say Delta and they want to be dropped off at the South Terminal, that's where you go. And it's pretty easy. Just look for all the red signs. It's going to be over here on the south side. So what is the North Terminal? The North Terminal is every other airline. If you didn't know, Delta, which is actually owned by another company, but Delta is based here in Atlanta, so that's why they have their own terminal, and they also run the international terminal. North Terminal, the blue terminal, is everybody else. Spirit, Southwest, American Airlines, Alaskan Air, all that stuff. So if they say any of that, then you know you're going to the North Terminal, which is up over here on the north side. Now, really, it's pretty straightforward when you go in. There's a lot of construction going on, which is why we have to pick up in a weird area, which I'll get to in a second. But when you're dropping off, for the South Terminal, it really doesn't matter. It's all Delta. But I always ask, do you have a specific door you'd like to go to? But for both North and South, I will always ask if they would like to be dropped off at the lower level. What is the lower level? If you're a seasoned rider, you definitely know what driver, you know what the lower level is. If you don't, it is basically the area underneath the parking decks. It's very easy to get to. Basically, let's focus on one terminal at a time. So for the South Terminal, you get off the ramp, you're coming around, you see the ways to the parking lot. You don't want to go over there, obviously, unless you're picking up. You want to keep going straight and get in your leftmost lane. Then you'll see it kind of branches off. There's a place to the left. There's also that building right there. I think it's like I'm not really sure what it is, but it leads underneath the parking deck. Then there's also the shuttle bus area where only shuttle buses can go. It's their, separate lane. And then there's the area to drop off at the upper level. The lower level is like an integral part, especially like Monday mornings are super busy at the airport. Sundays, weekends are busy, holidays are busy, so try and save yourself some time as well as the passengers some time by going to the lower level, but always ask first, because sometimes, they just don't want to be bothered with anything new. They just want to go to the upper level. For the North Terminal, it's not really trickier. You have to get off at a certain point to get on the lower level. Like there's a ramp you can take that just goes to the upper level, but most of the time when you wrap around, you basically just want to head towards the parking lots, the economy parking lots, but you want to stay to the right. And again, it's just underneath the parking deck or the parking garage. So it's not that hard. I might do a visual of that, but you'll literally figure it out in 2 or 3 rides. Okay, so, but just ask about the lower level. It'll help you save time. Now, for picking up, here's the deal. I feel like there's an art to picking up and waiting. So we obviously have a designated waiting area. I can't remember the last time I even waited there. I think I used to wait there like 6 or 7 months ago and never again. Now, Uber, and again, this is for Atlanta, but Uber has taken some measures to kind of help people out. If you wait in that long line to pick somebody up from the airport and you have a short trip, Uber will do something where they'll give you some extra time to get back into the pickup area, and then hopefully your next ride will be longer. That being said, that's why I don't wait. If I drop somebody off and I don't get a ping within the first minute or two, I drive up to East Point. There are so many MARTA stations around here, and there are so many people in this city who needs rides. Now, I will say some rides will take you, like, down to Union City. I've even taken somebody from there all the way down to Peachtree City. But you'll be there for, like, 5 minutes at the most waiting for a ride. Again, this is early in the morning. I would say it probably slows down between 10 and 3. But I do not wait in the line. I do not wait in the queue line. It is ridiculous to wait 40 to 50 to an hour and a half for a ride that could possibly just take you to downtown, which is maybe a $10 ride. You wait an hour to make $10? No. No, no, no. Sorry. I just don't do that. So, I don't recommend waiting in the lines at all. But that pretty much covers most of my tips. I might do follow-up depending on if anything changes in Georgia. But, you know, our airport is huge. It's the busiest airport, I think, in the world. Don't let that overwhelm you. I wouldn't say go there and drive just to see what it's like. But don't let airport trips intimidate you. They are very, very profitable if executed correctly. Meaning you take somebody there from a faraway place, then you pick somebody up who's going to a faraway place. Or you don't wait in that line and waste your time. Cool. So I hope this helped you guys out, especially for my fellow drivers in Atlanta. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments, email me. I'll leave all my social media stuff so you can contact me. And I have a lot of more videos coming for you guys. So yeah, just let me know if there's anything specifically you'd like me to cover. That's it for me. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.